The dining room is aggressively festive. Garland wraps around a chandelier, a 7-foot tree blocks the window, and the table is set with silver that hasn't been polished since the 90s. I stare at the check in my hand. $200. Written in my mother's hasty cursive. No card. No Merry Christmas. Just a flimsy piece of paper inside a heavy linen envelope. Are you serious? My voice comes out dry, flat. It echoes off the crystal and china. My mother, Susan, doesn't look up from carving the roast. What now, Amanda? I hold up the check. $200. From Grandma. Be grateful, my sister Rachel says from across the table, swirling a glass of wine she definitely can't afford. She's wearing a new cashmere sweater. Her husband Jason sits beside her, scrolling on his phone. It's the thought that counts. The thought, I repeat. Rachel flashes me a smile that's all teeth. You could put it toward that walk up in Hell's Kitchen. The one with the shared bathroom. I let that land. I'm a real estate appraiser in Manhattan. I make $310,000 a year. But my credit score is somehow in the 400s, a mystery my bank won't solve, and I've been too busy to untangle. So yes, I rent a pre-war studio with a radiator that sounds like a dying animal. I fold the check carefully. I'll call Grandma. Thank her personally. My mother's hand freezes on the carving knife. No, don't. She's asleep. She's in California, I say. It's 7 p.m. Early bird, Rachel adds too quickly. Something shifts in my chest. In my line of work, I've learned to spot hidden defects. Cracks behind fresh drywall. Water stains under new paint. And lies beneath cheerful family dinners. I pull out my phone and hit FaceTime. The phone rings twice. Then my grandmother's face fills the screen, 88 years old, sharp as a tack, wearing her favorite flannel nightgown. Amanda. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Merry Christmas, Grandma. I got your gift. That's wonderful. Have you found a realtor yet? I told Susan to release the funds last month. $1,200,000. It should be more than enough for a down payment on something nice. Time stops. I don't look at my mother. I don't need to. I can hear her breath catch. Funds. I say carefully. For your home, honey. The trust. Your father's mother set it up years ago. I'm just the messenger. I keep my voice level. Of course. I'll call you tomorrow. Love you. Love you more. I hang up. Then I look at my mother. The knife is still in her hand. Her face has gone the color of the gravy boat. $1.2 million, I say quietly. Versus $200. That's a variance of $1,199,800. In my profession, we call that a material misrepresentation. She's senile, my mother whispers. Grandma just solved a Sudoku puzzle in 4 minutes while talking to me. She's not senile. She's been robbed. And I have a feeling I know who did the appraising. Rachel sets down her wine glass. You're being dramatic. I stand up. I'm going to find out exactly what happened. And when I do, I'm going to treat this like any other fraudulent transaction. I will assign value. I will document every defect. And I will collect. I grab my coat. No one stops me. Outside, snow is falling. I pull out my phone and text an old college friend who works in digital forensics. Need a deep dive on a family member. High priority. Name your rate. His reply comes in 30 seconds. For you? Double. And I want the story. December 26th. My office is a glass box on the 14th floor. The city is hungover from Christmas, streets quiet, air cold enough to hurt. I have access to databases most people don't know exist. Appraisers don't just look at square footage. We look at title history, tax liens, credit profiles, transaction trails. It's our job to find what's hiding. First, I pull my own credit report. FICO score, 458. That's not a mystery. That's criminal negligence. I dig deeper. 5 credit cards I never opened. American Express, Chase, Citi, Capital One, Discover. All maxed out. Total balance, $89,400. I open the transaction history. Four Seasons Resort, Maldives, $14,200. That matches Rachel's honeymoon. Hermes Birkin 30, $11,000. That matches the bag she posted on Instagram with the caption, "Jason knows how to spoil me." Peter Luger Steakhouse, $800. That matches the receipt she left on my mother's fridge last summer. I pull up the addresses tied to the cards. Not my apartment. My parents' house in Connecticut. My mother opened these cards using my social security number. She set the billing address to her own home. She never paid a single bill. And I never got a single notice. That's not incompetence. That's design. I close the credit report and open the trust documents. The Brooks Family Trust. Established 1998. Trustee, Susan Brooks. Beneficiaries, the grandchildren, including me. On September 15th, a transfer was made, $1. $2 million from the trust to a beneficiary distribution account in my name at Chase Bank. On September 16th, that same amount was transferred out to Sentinel Title Company in White Plains, New York. I have never heard of Sentinel Title. I have never signed a document authorizing a distribution. I have never set foot in a Chase branch in my life. I pull the property records for the address tied to the transfer. 450 Oak Street, Greenwich, Connecticut. Purchase price, $1.25 million. Closing date, September 30th. Owners, Rachel Coleman and Jason Coleman. My breath goes shallow. I open the mortgage documents. There, on page 12, is a guarantee of payment. It lists a guarantor. My name, Amanda Brooks. Signed. Dated. Notarized. I didn't sign that. I zoom in on the signature. It's close to mine. Close enough to pass a casual glance. But the loop on the A is wrong. My A has a sharp point. This one is rounded. Someone practiced. I call my grandmother back. No FaceTime this time. Just voice. Grandma, when you told Mom to release the trust funds, did you put anything in writing? Of course I did. I sent an instruction letter to Susan and copied the bank. Why? What's going on? What did you find? Everything. Chat logs. Deleted emails. A scanned copy of your driver's license that's been photoshopped. And this. He pulls out his laptop and opens a video file. It's a Zoom recording. September 19th. Title, Closing Verification, Brooks/450 Oak. I watch my sister sit in front of a camera. The lighting is dim. She's wearing a black mask, pandemic holdover. Her hair is dyed darker than usual. She's holding a driver's license. Ms. Amanda Brooks, the title agent asks. Rachel nods. Can you lower your mask briefly for ID verification? She hesitates, then pulls the mask down just below her nose. The lighting is bad. The camera is cheap. But it's her. The shape of her jaw. The way she blinks too fast when she's lying. Thank you, the agent says. Proceeding with closing documents. The video ends. I close the laptop. That's identity theft, Eric says quietly. Federal crime. I know. What are you going to do? I think about it. Not about revenge. About value. About what this is worth. About how to collect. First, I'm going to build a complete file. Every email, every transaction, every lie. Then I'm going to have a conversation with my family. And then I'm going to let the legal system do its job. You're not going to confront them first. I'm an appraiser, Eric. I don't confront. I assess. I document. And then I present my findings. For the next 6 weeks, I live 2 lives. By day, I appraise commercial properties in Manhattan. Office buildings, retail spaces, a warehouse in Long Island City that's being converted into luxury condos. I do my job well. My clients trust me. By night, I become someone else. I drive to Greenwich 3 times. I park down the street from 450 Oak Street and watch. I take photos. I note the new fence, the landscaping, the BMW SUV in the driveway that Jason definitely didn't buy with his salary as a marketing coordinator. I follow the trash schedule. On collection nights, I wear gloves and a headlamp. I pull bags from the bin at the curb. I sort through them in the back of my car. It's humiliating. It's also necessary. I find A torn credit card statement for a Saks Fifth Avenue account in my name. A handwritten note from my mother that says, "If Amanda asks, say grandma's memory is failing. Blame the trust attorney." Offer to help her apply for a new loan. A receipt for a notary stamp renewal. The notary's name, Daniel Foster. I hire a private investigator named Marcus. He's former NYPD, built like a refrigerator, and doesn't ask moral questions. I pay him $5,000 to follow Daniel Foster. 3 days later, Marcus sends me photos. My mother meeting Foster at a diner in Danbury. She's handing him a thick envelope. He's smiling. I add the photos to my file. I also pull property records for Foster's office. He recently bought a new Porsche Cayenne. He also made 3 trips to Mohegan Sun Casino in December. Total losses, $12,000. That's my $5,000 bribe plus some of his own money, probably trying to double it. I call my mother once a week. I keep my voice warm. I ask about her book club, her garden, her plans for spring. "Are you coming to your birthday dinner?" she asks in early February. "I'm planning something nice." "Wouldn't miss it," I say. "I've been working on a presentation for work. Maybe I'll share it." "Work stuff? At your birthday?" It's very relevant to the family. I hang up and add a new entry to my file. Date of confrontation, February 20th. My parents' living room again. This time, there are more people. Aunts, uncles, cousins. My grandmother has flown in from California. She sits in her usual chair by the window, watching everyone with narrow eyes. My mother has gone all out. Catered food. An open bar. A cake that says, "Happy 30th Amanda," in gold script. I've brought a projector and a screen. I set them up while everyone mingles. No one asks why. After dinner, my mother clinks her glass. "Amanda has prepared a little presentation for us. She's been working so hard at her job, and she wanted to share something with the family." Applause. Polite. Curious. I stand by the screen. The remote is in my hand. "Thank you, Mom." "You're right. I've been working hard. And what I'm about to share is the most important appraisal I've ever done." I click the remote. The first slide says, "The Brooks Family Trust, a forensic accounting." My mother's smile falters. This is a summary of the trust established by my paternal grandmother in 1998. The current trustee is Susan Brooks. The beneficiaries include me, my sister Rachel, and 3 cousins. I click again. September 15th. $1.2 million transferred from trust to Amanda Brooks' beneficiary account. My grandmother sits forward. "What is this?" I keep going. I walk through every slide. The forged signature on the guarantee. The fake driver's license. The Zoom call with my sister pretending to be me. The credit cards. The bribe to the notary. The photos of my mother handing over the envelope. By slide 20, the room is silent. My mother isn't smiling anymore. She's gripping the arm of the couch like she might float away. "Amanda," she says, "this is a misunderstanding." "Is it?" I click to slide 21. It's a screenshot of a text conversation between my mother and Rachel. "Mom, she's not going to notice. She never checks her credit." Rachel, "What if she asks about the money?" "Mom, I'll say it was a tax move. Or a temporary loan. She'll believe me. She always does." My sister stands up. Her face is blotchy. "You went through Mom's phone?" I went through Mom's hard drive. Her deleted files. Her chat logs. Her emails. You should be more careful about what you throw away. That's illegal. Identity theft is illegal. Fraud is illegal. Bribing a notary is illegal. Using someone else's social security number to open credit cards is illegal. I have committed none of those crimes. You have committed all of them. My grandmother's voice cuts through the room. "Susan, is this true?" My mother looks at her mother-in-law. For a moment, I see something flicker across her face. Shame? Fear? I don't care which. "I was trying to help Rachel," my mother whispers. She needed a house. Jason's job wasn't enough. And Amanda is fine. She makes plenty of money. She doesn't need what? My voice is quiet. Her own inheritance? Her own credit? Her own name? Rachel starts crying. Loud, theatrical sobs. You're destroying this family. No, I say. You destroyed it when you decided my life was yours to spend. I click to the final slide. It's a single line of text. Estimated total damages. $1,500,000, including credit damage, emotional distress, and legal fees. Here's what's going to happen, I say. I've already filed a report with the FBI's white-collar crime division. I've provided them with all of my documentation. They will be contacting you within the week. I've also retained counsel. My attorney will be pursuing both criminal and civil remedies. You called the FBI, my father says. He's been silent all night. I'd almost forgotten he was here. I did. You're sending your own mother to prison? I'm sending a woman who stole $1.2 million from me to prison. The fact that she's my mother is her failure, not mine. My grandmother stands up. She's trembling, but her voice is steady. Susan. Rachel. Jason. You are no longer welcome in my home. And if I had my way, you wouldn't be welcome in any home that bears my name. My mother sobs. Rachel screams. Jason stares at the floor. I unplug the projector and pack it into my bag. Happy birthday to me, I say. Then I walk out. The FBI moves faster than I expected. 3 days after the dinner, agents interview my mother. 2 weeks later, they arrest her, Rachel, and Jason at their home in Greenwich. The notary, Daniel Foster, is arrested the same day at his office. The news makes the local papers. Greenwich family charged in $1.2 million trust fraud. My face isn't in the articles, but my job title is. My phone rings for a week straight. I don't answer most of the calls. My mother hires a criminal defense attorney. He tries to negotiate a plea. The prosecutor offers 30 months. My mother wants 18. They go to trial. It lasts 4 days. I testify on day 2. I bring my file. I walk the jury through every document. The prosecutor asks me if I feel any conflict in testifying against my own mother. No, I say. She made her choices. I'm just describing their value. The jury deliberates for 6 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing happens in October. Susan Brooks, 36 months federal prison, $1.5 million restitution, joint and several. Rachel Coleman, 24 months, same restitution. Jason Coleman, 18 months, reduced for cooperating and providing additional evidence against Susan, same restitution. Daniel Foster, 36 months, disbarred as a notary, fined $50,000. I watch them all be led away in handcuffs. My mother looks back at me once. I don't know what she expects to see. Forgiveness? Regret? I give her nothing. The house at 450 Oak Street was seized as part of the restitution order. My grandmother bought it at auction and transferred the deed to me. She said it was a delayed birthday present. I spent 3 months renovating. Gutted the kitchen. Replaced the floors. Painted over the walls my sister had decorated in shades of beige and sadness. The only thing I kept was the fireplace. It's original. It has good bones. I run my appraisal business from the converted sunroom. My reputation, as it turns out, has only gotten stronger. Clients like the story. They like that I don't let fraud slide, even when it comes wrapped in a family Christmas card. My credit score is 780 now. It took a year of disputing, paying down the fraudulent balances. The restitution will eventually cover it, but I fronted the money to clean my report faster and being boringly responsible. I bought a car last month. Cash. My father divorced my mother while she was awaiting trial. He lives in Sarasota now. He sends me an email every few months. I reply to about half of them. We're not close. But we're not enemies either. Sometimes that's the best you can hope for. My grandmother comes to visit once a month. We drink tea in front of the fireplace. She tells me stories about my father as a boy, about my mother before she became someone else, about the house she grew up in and the one she'll leave behind someday. You did the right thing, she told me last week. Hard things are still right. I think about that sometimes. The difference between hard and wrong. The way they can look the same from a distance, but feel completely different up close. My mother writes me letters from prison. I've received 12 so far. I've opened 2. The first one was full of apologies. The second one was full of excuses. I stopped opening them after that. Some buildings aren't worth renovating. Some foundations are too damaged to save. Better to tear them down and start fresh. It's a quiet Sunday afternoon. I'm sitting at my desk, looking over a new file. A commercial building in Tribeca. Possible foundation issues. The seller is hiding something. I can smell it the way I used to smell my mother's lies across a Christmas dinner table. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Amanda, it's Jason. I'm out. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't know everything, but I knew enough. I should have stopped it. I'm sorry. I stare at the screen for a long time. Then I delete the message and block the number. Some apologies come too late. Some defects can't be cured. In real estate, we call that constructive total loss. It means the cost of repair exceeds the value of the property. My relationship with my mother, my sister, my brother-in-law, it's a constructive total loss. Not worth salvaging. Better to write it off and move on. I look out the window. The garden my grandmother helped me plant is starting to bloom. Daffodils. Tulips. Things that come back every year without asking for permission. I turn back to my file. There's a building in Tribeca that needs an honest appraisal. I have work to do.